Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be going through some of my recent reads and also some of my TBR for the fall season. I don't know if I'm going to get through all of these for the fall season, but this is just like kind of what I'm looking forward to reading. Let's get into it. The first recent read that I have is Losers by Harley Laroux, and let me just tell you, this was my first ever Why Choose that I've ever picked up, and I was pleasantly surprised. I really enjoyed this one. I think I gave it like a 4.5 stars on Goodreads, and truly it was just mind-blowing. Like, I did not know that books could be like this, so this was very good. Basically, this follows Jessica and the losers, which are these 4 boys. Jessica has always been just queen bee. She's been like prom queen, captain of the cheerleading team. Like, she's always just been in the it crowd in this town. After they graduate, she reconnects with one of the 4 boys, and they kind of strike up a deal with her. I'm not going to go too much into it just because I would go into this blind if you are interested in a Why Choose. But basically, she strikes up a deal with these 4 boys to kind of stay with them and be their toy, if you will. That's all you need to know. That's literally all you need to know. Next recent read was Flawless by Elsie Silver, and I loved this book so much. This literally was fall in a book. The ranch vibes, the cowboy vibes, the romance. I mean, all the elements in this book, I was just so in love, and just, it was such a romantic book that I could not put it down. I finished it in like 3 days. This is basically follows Summer and Rhett. Summer is the daughter of Rhett's agent in bull riding, and basically Rhett says something on TV that angers a lot of his audience, and so Summer is tasked by her father to go spend time with Rhett on his ranch so that he can improve his image. I loved the found family aspect in this book, and the spice was actually very nice. It was very classy, very well done. It wasn't too over the top or like too cringy or too much, so I definitely will be picking up more books by Elsie Silver for sure, and I did, as you will see in my TBR. The next book that I read was The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren, and this one was honestly very cute. I didn't know that it was closed door, which I now know that I'm not a huge fan of. I think I gave this one like a 3.5. I still enjoyed the story. The plot was actually very good. This followed Olive and Ethan. Olive is a twin sister, and she goes to her twin sister's wedding, and something tragic happens at the wedding, and the twin sister is like, you have to take my non-refundable honeymoon, like you have to go on it because it would just be a waste. So she decides to go, but the only thing wrong with going is the fact that her twin sister's new husband has a brother named Ethan, and Ethan is going on this honeymoon trip as well. So it's their romance. They go on the honeymoon, and you know, things happen. Plot twists and secrets come out as well, which I really enjoyed about this one. So I would definitely recommend it if you're into a closed door vibe. It was very cute. My next recent read was The Good Girl by Nikki Sloan. I wanted to like this book. I don't know if it's because I hadn't read the one prior to this, because I think this one is, I don't know if it's because this is the last book in the Nashville Neighborhood series and I just decided to pick it up without reading the first 4, but I felt like the writing in this just was very fanfic vibes. That's not to say that fanfic vibes are bad. I just wasn't expecting that. It was hot, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, like, that's all it really was. I didn't really care for the plot, didn't really connect truly to the characters, and I feel like that's why I only rated it a 3 star. So I don't know if I would recommend this series. I definitely want to pick up the other ones so that I can truly give a good opinion about this book, because I feel like knowing the prior things maybe would have made this a better choice for me, but I truly just didn't love it that much. So next I read The Dixon Rule by Elle Kennedy. This was the first book that I picked up by Elle Kennedy, and I truly had such a good time reading this. It was spicy, it was funny and witty. The banter between these two characters were so amazing. This follows Diana and Shane. Diana is the captain of the cheerleading team for the college that they're going to, and she lives in this apartment building. So Shane moves into the apartment right next to her on the campus. He's pretty much like slept with her entire cheerleading team, and so she already just doesn't like Shane, and she already knows Shane, and she is just very annoyed by his presence. Basically, the big trope in this one is fake dating. Shane has this ex-girlfriend that he is basically trying to make jealous so that he can potentially get her back, and Diana happens to be the one he wants to use to make this ex-girlfriend jealous, and so it's basically their romance from there. There was more plot in this than I was expecting, which I did enjoy. It is kind of a thicker romance, which I kind of loved because it gave time for me to truly connect with the characters, which I loved. So I thoroughly enjoyed this one, definitely recommend. And then the last ones that I read were the second, third, and the fourth books in the Windy City series by Liz Tom Ford, and oh my gosh, these are my top books of this year. Like, all three of these had such amazing storylines, characters. The found family in these books, these are absolutely amazing books if you are getting into contemporary romance or romance in general, or if you literally just have never read a book in your life, pick up these books because truly they just have everything you would want. They always have HEAs, which I am a big fan of. They're truly like the communication in all of these books, the found family, the forced proximity in this one especially. I just loved all three of them. The spice, top tier. I would definitely give it maybe a 3.5, maybe a 4-star out of 5 on the spice level. So that is it for my recent reads. Now we are going to move on to my TBR for the fall season. Okay, so starting with Daydream. So this one is the third one in the Maple Hills series, and I am really excited and looking forward to reading this one. I have read Icebreaker and Wildfire, and I truly enjoyed both. I know a lot of people said that they didn't really like Wildfire, which was the second book, but I did enjoy both. I know this is Henry's book, so I'm excited because he's always been such a sweet and wholesome character in the other two, so I'm very much looking forward to reading this one this fall. So the next one on my fall TBR is The X-Files by Jessica Joyce. This will be my first Jessica Joyce book, so I'm very intrigued and interested in this book. The only thing I know about this book is that it takes place at a wedding and the ex is there, but I'm very much looking forward to reading this one. The next book that I'm going to be reading is Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. I've heard a lot of good things about Julie Soto, so I'm looking forward to it. And then we have Leather and Lark. Oh my gosh, so I actually started this one, but I paused it because I started reading Iron Flame. Had to put this one down so I could read Iron Flame. But I already read Butcher and Blackbird, which is the first book in the Ruinous Love trilogy. This is the second one, and then I think there's one more, Sparrow and Scythe? Don't quote me on that, but I know it's the third Brothers book, so looking forward to finishing this one. And then I also have Heartless by Elsie Silver. So this is the second book in the Chestnut Spring series, and this follows the second brother. So this is the oldest brother, and in Flawless, he gave very much grumpy dad vibes, and I just loved that. I was like, you know what? I need to read this series. Like, this series is fucking good, and I'm going to read it. And then the last book on my TBR for the fall season is The Book of Azrael by Amber V. Nicole. I've heard really good things about this one as well. I know it's about gods and it's pretty spicy, and that's all I really need to know. So this is also on my TBR for fall. I'm very much looking forward to reading all of these books. Don't know if I'm gonna get to all of them, but we are gonna do our darndest to try. So anyways, that is it for my recent reads and also my fall TBR. I'm super excited to get to those books. I also really enjoyed reading these ones, so definitely recommend me stuff to read in the winter months. And also look at my shirt. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.